All right, kids, going over homework, okay? Whatever you don't have, you're fixing it or filling it in for both Quick Pick 5 and Quick Pick 6. We were not doing A or B, so you're taking the number starting at C. They're asking what is the value of the 4, what is the 4 worth? But that 4 is in the tenths place, so it's worth 4 tenths. If you put 4 over 10, give it to yourself. If you're showing me 0 and 4 tenths, give it to yourself. If you just have 0.4, give it to yourself. They all mean the same thing. That's it. Those are the options. In the other number, the 4 is in the ones place. So what's it worth? Just 4. You're done. That's it. Fix it or fill it in. D is talking about the 1, but this 1 is in the thousandths place. So it's worth 1,000th, 1 over 1,000. If you have 0 and 0.001, that's 1,000th. If you just have decimal point 001, that's also 1,000th. Those are the options. That's it. This one over here is in the hundredths place. So 1 over 100, or 0 and 100th, or just 0.01. That's what 100th looks like. Those are the options. Fix it or fill it in. E is asking you to round to the nearest whole number, which means you would be circling everything in front of the decimal point and underlining the 4, but the 4 should leave you alone. So for E, you should just have 265. If you have the decimal point, fine, but you don't need it. If you have anything behind it, it's got to be a 0, otherwise it's wrong. E is asking you to round to the nearest whole number. So you'd circle everything in front of the decimal point. You'd be underlining a 5. But a 5 is going to bump you up. And 1 more than 264 is 265. If you have the decimal, fine. You don't need it though. If you have anything behind it, it's got to be a 0. There's no other option. F is asking you to round to the nearest tenth, which means you'd be circling the digit in the tenths place and underlining the 0, but that 0 is going to leave you alone. So for F, I have 265 and 4 tenths. If you have anything behind that 4, got to be a 0. If you have anything other than a 0 behind that 4, it will be marked wrong. You don't have to have the zeros there, okay? They're nothing. There's nothing in that spot. Same thing, you are circling the 5 because that's what's in the tenths place. You're underlining the 1, but that 1 leaves a 5. So I have 264 and 5 tenths. If you have anything behind that, 0. We changed what it asked for G and H. Instead of taking the numbers here, because that's what it was asking you to do, we're just going to take this number here. So all I'm going to do is just really quickly rewrite the number that's up top. That's what it was to start with. If it asks you to multiply by 100, well, 100 has 2 zeros, and multiplying is going to make it bigger. So you should be moving right twice. If I move right twice, it's going to end up between the 0 and the 1. So if you do not have 26540 decimal point 1, I need you to fix it. Same thing then for the next number. I'm going to quickly bring down what they're giving me. Multiplying by 100 would be moving 2 times to the right. You're making it bigger. If you do not end up with 26451 decimal point 0, please fix it. For H, they're asking you to divide by 100. 100 still has 2 zeros, but division is going to make it smaller, which means you should be moving to the left. So you're going left twice. I'm going to start by bringing down the number that's up top. And I'm just going to move twice to the left. It ends up between the 2 and the 6. If you do not have 2.65401, please fix it. Same thing then for the second number. They have 264 and 510 thousandths. You're dividing by 100, so you're moving left twice. If you do not end up with 2 decimal point 64510, I need you to fix it. We're almost done. If you're good, or when you're good, flip it. Number 1 on Quick Pick 6 asks you to take that number and write it in standard form, which means you're building a number. A lot of you start off with 3 lines, a decimal point, and 3 more lines. That's fine. But if that's the ones place, that's tens, that's hundreds, they're starting me at 10,000, which means I'm going to have to add a place for the thousands place. I'm going to have to add a place for the 10,000s place. They're asking you to stick a 4 in the 10,000s place. They're asking you to stick a 3 in the thousands place. A 6 goes in the hundreds place. The next thing I have says 5 times 1 100th. So I'm going to stick a 5 in the hundredths place, which means there's nothing in the tens, nothing in the ones, nothing even in the tenths. So I have 4, 3, 6, 0, 0.05. And the only thing that matches what I have is E. So it's E. 2, we got pretty far. Okay, common denominators. Once you have a common denominator, your bottom number is the same. Keep it. 3 plus 2 is 5. And honestly, you're done. It's 5 over 12. 3 asked, what shape has only one pair of parallel lines? We eventually will be responsible for 2D and 3D shapes. And what I need you to recognize is that a trapezoid has a short top and a long bottom. And then the sides just connect, okay? But it should be a trapezoid because the only 2 lines that would be parallel would be the top and the bottom. But that is a set. Those things go together. So it's a trapezoid. That's your homework.